to talk about Lavar Ball. He has become a one-man impresario as far as being able to boost his sons as NBA prospects rather. And over the course of just a couple of months, he was able to Donald Trump the entire NFL. This shows you how I remember about sports. The NBA draft. Prevent them from discussing what they wanted to discuss and got them solely and completely focused on what he wanted them to discuss, which of course were his sons, starting with Lonzo. And before it was over, the entire NBA and all of the white corporate sports media was obsessed with talking about what he wanted them to talk about, which was him and his son, what they were doing. He had single-handedly hijacked the NBA draft and got all of the attention, turned it from being about the NBA draft to being about him and his son. And there was a very simple reason for this. Because he had told the white media that we're gonna win. And you see, when you're black, there is nothing that agitates and destroys the fragile ego of white supremacists than seeing a black person express some confidence. You see, a Negro is supposed to be humble. You are supposed to be walking around on eggshells. Your entire self-worth and self-image are supposed to live and die on the word and at the whim of white people. If they say that today is a good day, you're supposed to suddenly perk up and say, hey, today is a good day. I know, they told me. And if they tell you that today is a rotten day, you are supposed to be in a state of depression. Today is an awful day. I know it is. The good white folks over there told me that it is. So there is no need for me to even check my watch or look at my calendar. Today is an awful day because they have not signed off on whether or not it can be a good day today. Lavar Ball had the unmitigated gall to walk into white sports enclaves and to say, yeah, we're just that good. We're here to take over the show, and nothing that you do is going to matter today unless we sign off on it. Well, who the hell does this nigger think he is? He's supposed to get his say-so from us. He's supposed to get approval from us. He's supposed to be waiting for us. How the hell is he going to sit here and tell us what's going to happen? Not gonna be. There was a story in Sports Illustrated. Came out just yesterday by Dan Gartland. Headline, and this is the real thing that upset them to their core. And when people asked me to comment about Lavar Ball, I wouldn't do it. But when I finally did say something, I told you all that I thought this was the smartest man in sports. And now we just have confirmation that it's true. Headline from the Sports Illustrated story. Lavar Ball told Magic Johnson his bravado is just a marketing tool. Now, the white guy writing the article is talking as if this is news. He's talking as if this is something we were just unaware of. Because in his mind, he's here to sound the alarm to white people. Hey, hey, hey! Stop paying this nigger attention! Hey, hey! It's just a marketing tool, you damn dummies! Stop following him! Stop falling for it! Stop falling for it, damn it! That's what he is hoping would happen. Because they're like, damn it, this nigger outdid us. You gotta understand that everything that the white media does is a marketing tool. Everything. Do you all remember here, what was that, 7-8 years ago, when LeBron James left Cleveland to go to Miami? You remember they had a great big huge marketing thing in Sports Illustrated, I believe it was. Sports Illustrated and ESPN, that they were going to have the interview with him the night that he made the decision. That's what they called it. The decision. While they had these 3 professional photography pictures of LeBron James, it was making him look like he was losing his mind, like he was all stressed out about making the decision. That's what the title they gave it. Join us on ESPN Thursday night for The Decision. Remember that? No, I don't follow sports, but I remember that. That was marketing. Whether you're a sports fan or not, you recognize and remember that. That's marketing. Now, he could have gone to Miami and been a bust, but that was not what marketing is for. Marketing is to get your eyeballs tonight, and next year we move on to something else. And as black people, you're not supposed to be smart enough to do that. The problem that they have with Lavar Ball is he's got 3 sons. And they are scared to death that what he did with son number 1, whether it succeeds or not, he will be able to turn around and replicate the exact same hype machine with son number 2. You know, the way that ESPN and Sports Illustrated do every week. They're afraid that he's got more than one tool that he can market. That's what they're scared of. Now, here's what this whiny little Sports Illustrated writer, and by the way, they did a whole video. They did a whole video. You can hear part of it now.
Ball may seem over the top, but he told Magic Johnson that bravado is just a marketing tool. ESPN's Ramona Shelburne has a story out Friday looking at Lonzo Ball's first few weeks as a Laker, and it contains an illuminating anecdote about Lavar. When Lakers brass visited the Ball family at home, Lavar revealed the guy on TV yelling about beating Michael Jordan.
As you can hear, I mean, they got the little blonde-haired gal out here to do this story. They didn't just do a written article, they did a video one also. This is just how dedicated they are to hating on this man. The story says if LeVar Ball's over-the-top personality seems too outrageous to be genuine, that's because apparently it is. These are their words, not mine. ESPN's Ramona Shelburne has a story out Friday looking at Lonzo Ball's first few weeks as a Laker. And it contains one especially illuminating anecdote about LeVar Ball. When Lakers brass visited the Ball family at home, LeVar revealed that the guy on TV yelling about beating Michael Jordan one-on-one isn't the real him. Quote, "He just said it's marketing," Magic Johnson told Shelburne. Now, first of all, Magic, you are hella off code. That's the first thing, Magic Johnson. This is hella off code, dude. You doing too damn much talking. At what point do you just know things and the media is guessing things? Since when do you sit here and you the inside source for everything they know? This is hella off course, Magic. Hella off course. Off code. Absolutely. This is off code as hell. Don't y'all worry. He really just humble like that. Let me tell you. No. You don't talk like that. Magic Johnson told Shelburne that's what he had to do to market not only his son, but his brand. Before I met him, I had already thought that. I already knew what he was doing. This almost feels like some hating by Magic Johnson. This almost feels like some hating. This damn tattletelling. This almost feels like some hate from Magic, because you all know how it is. These old niggas don't like passing the torch to the young fellas. They don't like that. The young fellas got to snatch the damn torch out your hand, bust you over the damn head with it before they can run off with it like it's a mugging. Because these old niggas, you can't even play anymore, but you're determined that you're going to try to bring somebody down a peg or two. This is not about you, Magic. And what kind of billionaire goes off here and tells everybody everything he damn well knows? Who does that? Everybody's not supposed to sit here and tell people every damn thing that they know. That's not what you're supposed to do. So, Magic, this is hella off code, brother. Hella off code. Story goes on to say Lavar also told Shelburne that he'll have a hands-off approach with Lonzo now that he's on the Lakers, leaving training and instruction up to the team staff. The conversation with the elder Ball, quote, helped put Johnson and GM Rob Pelinka at ease, Shelburne writes. They have a word for this in professional wrestling. This is Sports Illustrated talking right now, not me. They have a word for this in professional wrestling. Kayfabe. No wonder Lavar looked like such a natural in the WWE ring. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with professional wrestling lingo, it is, kayfabe means being in character. That's what kayfabe means. So when you hear some article or some website or somebody on the internet refer to professional wrestling and kayfabe, that refers to the old practice in professional wrestling of staying in character, of not breaking character. In the last 20 years since Vince McMahon took the WWF, now the WWE, corporate and international, now they started breaking character. But in the old days, 30 years ago and older, these guys walked around in character 24/7. They did not break character. And when you hear the word kayfabe, that's referring to breaking character, or more to the point, not breaking character. So they're basically saying, oh, Lavar Ball was in character. And when he did these interviews with ESPN, he was still in character. Here's the only thing that you have to worry about, Sports Illustrated and ESPN and all the rest of you. The only thing that you have to be concerned about is the fact that Lavar Ball was smarter than you. That's the only thing you have to be concerned about, that he has been smarter than you. And that's what you really don't like. You see, they're talking about, is that Keyshawn Johnson? Beast mode? Going back to the NFL? Already got his own sports clothing line coming out. This is what he did while he was out of the NFL. He was getting ready to go back and say, I don't have to be the highest scoring football player. I just gotta be the most well-known brand. And now he's focusing on the brand. Marshawn Lynch shows you what I know about football players, not Keyshawn Johnson. Marshawn Lynch. I knew it was one of them made-up name Shawns. One of them made-up Shawns. One of those fusion names. In any case, Marshawn Lynch figured it out. Took him a bit in his career to finally dope it out, but he eventually got around to it. It's about having the most well-known brand. That's where the damn money is. Not in boosting NFL merchandise. That's what Marshawn Lynch figured out. You see, players have to split the NFL merchandise. It gets split in the league, actually. So you got to share your merchandise across the league. You don't have to do that if it's a separate holding. Marshawn said, damn this, I will use the NFL to boost my name recognition and to help my marketing, but I'm going to steer the money over into something that I completely control. And it won't be Nike and it won't be Reebok. And it won't be Adidas and it won't be Under Armour either. It's going to be something that I own. So he hasn't been focusing on going out there and let me go get myself busted up. Let me go out there and go see if I can get 10, 12 concussions. He said, let me go ahead and talk to my lawyer and talk to my agent and talk to these suppliers, and I'm going to get them all hip. This is something you could learn, Magic. Marshawn Lynch didn't put out a damn press release. This is something you could learn, Magic. About being discreet, Magic. Marshawn got his people together and he didn't tell you that this thing was dropping until he did it. Next thing you know, they're putting out stories saying, oh, he's launching his own, activewear line. Oh, man. Oh, man. Now the media is trying to play catch up, because if this is what he was doing in his off time, you can only imagine how far through he's thought this. And he didn't come to you looking for your approval. If this kind of thing catches on with black men all over the NBA and the NFL saying, no, it's all about ownership. And we are going to create some marketing vehicles that we own. Why, then you watch the dissolution of the NFL and NBA happen. If these black men go out there and say, it's about what I own. You see, I told you all this before. Lonzo Ball does not have to be the greatest player in NBA history. He doesn't have to be. He just needs to be good enough. He needs to be good enough because he's already got the name recognition. Now, this is something else that people don't talk about. Lonzo Ball may not have the best microphone skills. They did this with Brock Lesnar in the WWE. He's a physical phenom. He's got freakish physical skills. A guy who's walking around usually in the neighborhood of 275 to 300 pounds. And yet he can do everything from forward dives to suplexes to shooting star presses. He can do all of that. And if you don't know what a shooting star press is, go to Google and go to YouTube and go type it in. Brock Lesnar, where he did the shooting star press on Kurt Angle. 300 pounds doing that. It's one thing to just do a straight backflip. Big Vader used to do that. Brock Lesnar did a shooting star press. He's got insane physical skills, but he can't talk. When he picked up the microphone, he sounds like a little kid. And after a decade of working with him, it was very clear his microphone skills were not going to get any better. Now, this is the big open secret in professional wrestling. They were waiting for the day that Brock Lesnar would become like Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, and pick up the microphone and be able to thrill the people. That day never came. They waited, and they waited, and they waited. He went to the NFL, it never happened. He went to the UFC, it never happened. His microphone skills never improved. When they brought him back this last time, they just said, you know what, screw it. We will give him a spokesman. One of the oldest and best in the business, Paul Heyman, and Paul will go out and he will do all of Brock's talking for Brock. All Brock has to do is walk out and be chief ass kicker. He'll be ass kicker in chief, and Paul will take care of his microphone skills. People, Lonzo Ball does not strike me as having fantastic microphone skills. And if his father realizes this, that my son can play ball reasonably well, but he doesn't have the speaking ability to get himself over with people, he's going to need somebody else to create the hype machine for him, because he's not able to go out and articulate it on his own. When he talks to reporters, he's got that deer in the headlights look. When they throw questions at him, they're all like curveballs to him. He's not to a point yet where he can handle himself on the microphone. So just like Paul Heyman is the spokesman for Brock Lesnar, now Lavar Ball is the spokesman for Lonzo. And Lonzo has complete and total plausible deniability, because everybody can say, well, that's not what Lonzo thinks, that's just his daddy. And even if it is what Lonzo actually thinks, he never has to go out and admit to anything. And so long as he doesn't get his ass mopping the floor in the NFL, in the NBA, as long as they don't wind up mopping the floor with his ass on the court, he will be good enough